So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host Saeed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, Monday the 10th of January 2022. Remember, we are on Facebook, Real Talk with Saieed Ali Live. Our YouTube is presently down, viewers. You know, we got banned for a couple of days, but nevertheless, those of you who are not seeing us on YouTube, go onto Facebook, Real Talk with Saieed Ali, and you will see us live. So those of you who are looking on, and you know you have friends who will view us on YouTube, just hit them a message, tell them our YouTube is down presently, but they can look at us on Facebook, Real Talk with Saieed Ali live on Facebook. So a special good night to you, Trinidad and Tobago, Monday the 10th. 10 days in 2022 have passed already. But nevertheless, viewers, I just want to remind you, Real Talk Financing and Investment Company, they are offering you 2.5% on your fixed deposit at our company, viewers. The highest interest paid that is being paid out on any fixed deposit system in any financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago. Real Talk Group of Companies is offering you that. So viewers, contact us today, 267-7325, 238-6716, 339-1670, or 242-7690. Remember our South office, we are located at number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village in San Fernando. So take note of that. Their office numbers are 242-7690, that is 242-7690 or 339-1670. So remember viewers, 2.5%, the highest interest rate that are being paid on any fixed deposit system in any financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago. Whether it be the bank, whether it be credit union, it doesn't matter what. Real Talk Group of Companies, Real Talk Financing and Investment Company is topping it off. Why would you go to another financial institute and invest your hard-earned cash on a fixed deposit and get 1% or 0.05%? Why do that when you could get 2.5%, the highest being paid in our land? And remember, we have our U.S. fixed deposit system, U.S. account. We are paying 1%. Other financial institutions are giving you 0.05% again. And we are offering you 1% on your U.S. fixed deposit at Real Talk Financing and Investment Company. So viewers, keep that in mind. As we start off our program tonight, charges are expected to be laid against a woman who brought the first record case of Omicron variant of COVID-19 into Trinidad. The woman was interviewed by police, and they were expected to approach officials in the office of the Director of Public Prosecution, that is the DPP office, for instruction on how to proceed. Now, the investigative team are waiting for the woman to complete her quarantine period before moving to question her. The penalty for falsifying information on a travel pass is 6 months in prison and a fine of $350,000 or 6 months imprisonment upon summary conviction. Now, the woman was allowed to board a flight in New York to Panama, where she presented a negative antigen test to local authorities on December 9th, which she took in Panama. Even though Trinidad's entry condition required a PCR test being submitted, she was flagged upon her arrival in Trinidad, and 14 passengers who were nearest to her were ordered to isolate. That is self-isolate. So viewers, that is the latest coming out from the woman who brought the first Omicron case in Trinidad and Tobago. That is what she is expected to be charged with. So tonight, viewers, I want to hear from you tonight, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Would you support a mandatory victim policy? Mandatory vaccination policy? Would we become victims of forceful vaccination? So I want to hear from you tonight, viewers, because that is the trend that we are going down presently is either you vaccinate or you stay home from work. Public servants. It's two things. It's either you stay home or you vaccinate by force. Now I'm going to tell you something. I will tell you something. All around the world, each country, there are COVID-19 cases. And each country is handling it differently. But I am assuming that Trinidad and Tobago will be the second country that is trying to make it mandatory. So it goes to show that the medical team or the health in Trinidad and Tobago is not looking out for those individuals that cannot take the vaccine. And those who are hesitant in taking the vaccine, it shows that health don't business about you. All we business about is getting you vaccinated. Whether you suffer consequences or you come out on top, that is not our concern. Our concern is to make sure you take the vaccine. So if your concern is to making sure that the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago vaccinated, well then you have a bigger problem behind that. Because let's just say public servants rush to get the vaccine and 1 month after they end up with complications. What are you going to say? What is the health department? What is the doctors? What is the nurses? What is the physicians going to say to that individual who had proper health before the vaccine? Call a good night.
Say good night. How are you, brother?
I am okay. I'm okay.
All right, I have an issue to raise with you.
Talk to me.
I have some relatives who were tested positive at Arima Hospital.
Tested positive at Arima Hospital.
And they went in the hospital for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But what I can't understand is that the medication which they were given in the hospital, one of my cousin's wife, she ended up going into a coma. And I don't know what reason the medication put her into a coma, but she never come out of the coma and she ended up dying.
Okay, okay.
Right? And my brother-in-law who went in for positive COVID, he ended up getting a cardiac arrest, heart attack, and he also died. So the question remains now, what are the medications they're giving the COVID patients to take? Why would you send a patient into a coma and you cannot bring her out from the coma?
I understand. So is the medication is the medication that caused her to step into the coma?
Well, the injection they give her, that put her into the coma. And the other sad thing is about it, you cannot get the body when they die to bury because they want to send them to the different funeral home who have arrangement because none of the cold storage or the mortuary is working properly in the hospital. So the government has to send them to a different home to store the body. And sometimes they take so long that the body starts to decay. What are they really doing in this country?
I understand. But the certificate, the death certificate, what did it say? What was the result?
They all mark COVID in it.
COVID? Wow. My friend, condolences to you and the family.
And the final point I want to make is that recently on the CNN news, it was reported in somewhere in Island, Texas area, where a company was fined $3.5 million for mandatory vaccination.
Yes.
But you know the American law is different and the judge of this serious, not like this down here.
Yes.
Thank you for your time, sir. Right.
Thank you, my friend. And thank you for voicing your situation there. Condolences from Real Talk Studios to you and the family. Oh, that hard, boy. That hard. So, viewers, I want to hear from you tonight. Do you think the government is moving in the right direction as to making it mandatory to be vaccinated or else stay home for public servant? So we are going for a short commercial break, viewers, but nevertheless, there's lots more in store. Real Talk with Saieed Ali right after this break. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk. I'm your host, Saieed Ali. Consultant and real estate businessman.
Can't watch Real Talk on TV? Have no fear. You can also watch Real Talk on the go live on YouTube and Facebook at Real Talk with Saieed Ali on youtube.com and TT Real Talk on facebook.com. Don't forget to like us and share us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the notification bell.
Are you looking for the right investment? Are you looking for a greater return on your hard-earned cash? Look no further. Contact Real Talk Group of Companies located at number 14 Caroni Savannah Road, Chaguanas. At Real Talk Investment, you can earn up to 3.5% interest on your 3-year investment. Don't miss out on this amazing offer. Do contact us now on 339-1670, 238-6716 for further information. Our helpful team is ready to assist. Real Talk Investment. Real people matter to us. This ad was paid for by Real Talk Group of Companies Limited.
Are you looking for quick cash and do not know where to turn? We have got the answer for you. Visit us at Real Talk Group of Companies. We are a licensed money lending financial institution. We are located at number 14 Caroni Savannah Road, Chaguanas. Our phone numbers are 339-1670, 267-7325 or 238-6716. Contact us today. We look forward to hearing from you.
Welcome back to Real Talk, viewers. Several experts have stated that the government should have planned on how the public sector will be managed if it is to prevent a breakdown of service once the government safe zone initiatives at government workplace is implemented by mid-January. The ultimatum for public servants to get vaccinated or they will not be paid is the latest chapter in the long debate on the public sector management. It was also an industrial relation issue raised by Industrial Court President Deborah Thomas Felix last September. She warned employers that they could not ultimately introduce COVID-19 policy without consultation. Listen to this.
The main issue, as I see it, is whether a mandatory vaccination policy, and that is a COVID-19 vaccination policy, can be introduced as a new term of employment to existing employees without discussion or consultation. In other words, can such a policy be introduced unilaterally by employers in the workplace? The short answer to that question is no.
So now, viewers, last December, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley said those public servants who are not vaccinated will not be physically allowed in government workplace and, in a sense, would not be paid as government workplace were now declared safe zone. In 2020, Finance Minister Colin Imbut also said that the public sector wage bill is $20 billion annually and is difficult to sustain. So now, listen to Trinidad and Tobago. If Colin Imbut saying it is $20 billion annually and it had to sustain, it is hard for the present government to meet that $20 billion cost. So the simplest thing for the government to do now, look at the facts, the simplest thing for the government to do is to introduce mandatory vaccination in workplace in the government sector, that is the public sector. So if individuals refuse to go to work or they refuse to take the vaccine to go to work, technically, the annual expense would go down from 20 billion. Do you think these individuals and them who are bringing out this policy, do you think they care about if you pay for your house? Do you think they care about you paying for your insurance going to school? Do you think that they care about you paying for your car or how you're eating or if you're paying your bills? No, they don't business. So this is a strategy now, viewers, I would see, to bring down the annual wage bill from 20 billion to, let's say, about 10 billion. Because if half of the public sector don't vaccinate, you technically cut the bill from 20 to 10. And that is their plan. So I'm asking you now, when Colin Imbert said that our country was booming, the oil sector was booming, just last year, you know. Just last year. So all this time, was it true or was it a lie? Was our country booming or were we in a deep, deep depression state? Because if it is problems to meet the 20 billion, Heritage declaring billions of dollars, banks declaring hundreds of millions of dollars. When half of the public sector stays home, do you think taxes will be paid to the government? No. Do you think loan will be paid? No. Do you think children will be able to go to school? No. Business will be closing down in Trinidad and Tobago as if it's a tsunami passing. They want to manage COVID-19. All across the world, they could not manage it. Terence Dialsing could manage it. Terence Dialsing could not fix a proper hospital in Trinidad and have proper treatment for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, but he wants to manage COVID. He wants to manage a virus that he cannot see, a virus that have no cure. Because in 2020, when they had COVID-19 since March to December, we had no cure. Absolutely no cure. But Terence want to come now and tell me if you're vaccinated, it could save your life. It could reduce you from getting COVID. But when the Prime Minister and Shanfa vaccinated, it didn't help them. It didn't help them. They got it. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Saieed Ali.
Go right ahead. You're live on Real Talk.
I'm with your caller that your last call. I have a family member at the Arima Hospital, and same thing as your last caller said, while we can't know what type of medication they are giving the patient, we have no records of it. We don't know what type of medication they're giving them there.
No, but what happened to your family in the Arima, my dear?
Well, right now my family is there, but we don't know. We know what's going on with her, but we don't know what medication she's taking. We don't know what type of tablets she's getting, but she's doing well. But we don't have a record on what it is she's getting, what type of tablet, what type of medication. We know it's nothing.
I understand. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you so much for sharing it. Let me tell you something. Yes, we understand it is a virus. Yes, we understand there's a vaccine. But is the vaccine really working? Is the vaccine really working? I mean, WHO, the World Health Organization, they could come out and say something. They could say anything. They could say anything. They are human beings just like Terence Dialsing. Terence Dialsing said if you take the vaccine, it will reduce the risk of you getting COVID-19. How many of you took the vaccine and end up with COVID-19  2 or 3 times after and had to stay home from work? How much of them took the vaccine in 2020? How much? We didn't hear no massive death. Vaccine started to pass, death started coming. And all they're blaming, I hear this now, they reach as far as blaming the unvaccinated giving the vaccinated. You think them stupid and joke? You think them stupid and joke? When Saeed come here, oh Saeed, you're bashing the Dialsing, don't bash the government. But look at the reality that is taking place. Look at some of the comments. Look at some of the media briefing they're keeping. Look at what he's telling the public. But Saeed mustn't say nothing. And the stupid one must remain stupid. We mustn't educate them a little bit. while the educated one walking over the stupid one. Is that what we are about? Caller, good night.
Good night, Saieed.
My friend, go right ahead.
Is this a business venture for the government and the family? Because look at something. People dying of COVID. You know, why is it that, you know, they have to store these bodies? You have to, they didn't have the funds who have to store the bodies, you know. Who paying that cost?
True.
Then when they're going for incineration, the government alone don't do incineration. So people suffering while they're living. They died and they're suffering to us. Well, what is it with this government? And I would like, you know, to raise an issue, you know, I saw the Johns Hopkins University. We are number one. Where death is cut first. In the world, you know, number one, people here in the country lead the highest death rate per capita. What is the government doing about this? What is it? You know, they went bragging all the time and they said they was number one to cure COVID, which was a top policy. Now, the other point I want to make, sir, is it the government, I'm asking, I don't know, is it the government to vaccinate public servants a ploy? Because one, if you are not vaccinated, they would, you know, this, as you said, the wage bill would cut. And if you are vaccinated, there is a high possibility that you will die too as well. So in any case, vaccinate or no vaccinate, you may die. What is it? What kind of drug are they giving these people? Why can't they move away from this vaccine? Because it is proving nothing. It's proving nothing. Why can't they try the ivermectin, which they have so loudly criticized? Look at India, I think one of the countries, Uttar Pradesh or wherever, they are COVID-free. They are COVID-free. Over 243 million people. And they are COVID-free because they are taking. Why can't they just try something? Why, you know, now they say they're bringing out a pill. Is it the very ivermectin they're coming out now, Pfizer is coming out with, now to say that that is so? You know, this government is burying its head in the sun too much. It is time people love one, and then they say they take the vaccine. I look at Dr. Rowley. You never see the nurse hand on the injection needle to press it, you know, you see it below. Did these people really take the vaccine? Is it they are mamagaing people? It's time, because so much people are dying. Let us change the medical team. Let us change our strategy altogether. People are dying. They are losing loved ones. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but nevertheless, there's lots more in store when we return.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk. I'm your host, Saieed Ali.
Are you looking for quick cash and do not know where to turn? We have got the answer for you. Visit us at Real Talk Group of Companies. We are a licensed money lending financial institution. We are located at number 14 Caroni Savannah Road, Chaguanas. Our phone numbers are 339-1670, 267-7325 or 238-6716. Contact us today. We look forward to hearing from you.
Are you looking for the right investment? Are you looking for a greater return on your hard-earned cash? Look no further. Contact Real Talk Group of Companies located at number 14 Caroni Savannah Road, Chaguanas. At Real Talk Investment, you can earn up to 3.5% interest on your 3-year investment. Don't miss out on this amazing offer. Do contact us now on 339-1670, 238-6716 for further information. Our helpful team is ready to assist. Real Talk Investment. Real people matter to us. This ad was paid for by Real Talk Group of Companies Limited.
Back to Real Talk, viewers. Now listen to this, viewers. Since Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley announced the implementation of a public service vaccination policy that mandates public servants to be vaccinated or be flogged, the Joint Trade Union, JTUM, has raised a number of questions. The latest in those were included in a letter to the Attorney General, Mr. Faris Al-Rawi, in late December. Now, yesterday, the AG responded by addressing the union's concern. One of the first questions is one that has been making the rounds on social media and claims that the government policy is a condition of the state receiving international funding. JTAM also questioned whether the downsize in the workforce is a condition for that funding. However, Al-Rawi denied this and explained that policy was being implemented to save lives as the death tolls from COVID-19 continues to rise daily. Al-Rawi revealed that only 48% of the public service workforce is currently vaccinated. In China, they did not make it mandatory. In the US, they did not make it mandatory. In Australia, in UK, in India, they did not make it mandatory. Gonzales in St. Vincent tried to make it mandatory, and he went to Barbados. After, you could say, almost a war broke out in his country. In Trinidad, they want to make it mandatory. They are looking for every avenue to make it mandatory. Why is the government of Trinidad and Tobago so persistent in making it mandatory for public sector workers? Why? Is it to cut the wage bill from 20 billion to 10 billion or even 5 billion? Is it to get international funding, seeing that Trinidad and Tobago is suffering from growth due to the pandemic? So I don't know, maybe the Prime Minister or maybe Terence Dial Singh or maybe the AG could come out and answer this question. Why downsize the public sector? Why? To me, I feel like if you don't downsize the public sector, it will show your failure in keeping up with revenues and keeping up with paying out tax return in annual expense. So that will lead me to my next question. Is the government of Trinidad and Tobago managing the affairs of the country wisely? You see that 3 million I take to buy painting, that would have done us good now. How much oxygen we could have gotten in the hospital? How much ICU bed we could have gotten? The 3 million that I spent on Maxi Coffee, that is $6 million there. 3 million for painting, 3 million on Maxi Coffee. Has Maxi Coffee contributed to Trinidad and Tobago? What did he do to deserve? To deserve taxpaying citizens take their money and pay for Maxi? What did he do? Like I said, God alone know the plan Maxi had. So they hit him with that sickness one time. Caller, good night.
Good night, Saeed. Good night.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, what happened? My relative, a woman, had to fly out to New York last night because she took the vaccine and her both legs started to swell. I swell so fat now, they have no choice. They have to look for medication abroad. Because if you want more information, you could get it. She fly out last night. Both feet get heavy and swollen so fast. And it is so sad that the government not taking responsibility for people when they get sick. They want you to sign. When you do sign, that means you can't do nothing. You have to take action on your own. Imagine this woman fighting for her 2 legs right up last. If you want more information, I could tell it. That is bad. That is wrong. They're supposed to do something about it.
My friend, call me tomorrow on 239-1670. I would love to get that information.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, my friend, and thank you for highlighting it. You see, viewers, Terence continued to say the vaccine is safe, but Terence and the medical team not telling the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago some of the complications due to the vaccine. Now, I am not against the vaccine. I am not against the vaccine. I am not an anti-vax person. I want you to understand that. Because in order to travel, I had to go and take the vaccine. And I went with faith and the grace of God and I took it. Thank God nothing happened to me. But what about the individuals and them that receive complications? What is the Ministry of Health putting in place for those individuals? Terrence ain't say nothing, CMO ain't say nothing, Avery Hines ain't say nothing, the President ain't say nothing, Prime Minister ain't say nothing, the AG ain't say nothing. And these are important people in the land of Trinidad and Tobago. They hold in high office. The Prime Minister make it mandatory, but what is there in place? You forcing people to take the vaccine, but do you have any policy in place that if something happened to these individuals through the vaccine 2 months down the road, do you have anything in place? No. You didn't have anything in the past. You ain't had nothing now. Present day, you ain't have nothing. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Ali.
Go right ahead. You're live on Real Talk.
Yes, good night. I heard a caller mention the ivermectin. But do you know Mr. Terence Yancey said someday this week that ivermectin was killing the people? And I know people took it, they home took it and get better. And he said that it's the ivermectin that is killing the people. Thank you, Mr.
So, caller, hold on. She there? Caller,
yes.
There? Is the ivermectin killing someone, you said?
Terence Yancey said that live on television.
Okay. I understand.
Right? And I know people who took it and get better.
Well, this is the first time I am going to say this in Trinidad and Tobago. And plenty of you would be amazed. I, Saieed Ali, together with my doctors and my kids and the doctors' kids and their family and a whole set of other doctors and friends and families and kids are taking the ivermectin tablet. I want you to understand that. My kids are taking it. I am taking it. My doctor are taking it. My doctor, mother, father, brother, sister, cousin is taking it. Grandparents is taking it. Her friends who is also doctors, their children and their family and their brothers and sisters and father are also taking it. So I, Terence Singh, I am one of them who are using the ivermectin. It was recommended to me by pharmacists, by doctors who work in private institutions, who practice medicine. Because I've been listening to Terence about ivermectin and ivermectin and ivermectin, but I want him to understand that I, Saieed Ali, am using it. I am using it. My doctor is using it. Her pharmacist's daughter is using it. So next time Terence had to say something about ivermectin, be very careful of what you're saying, because I will lash you back with the truth. The ivermectin ain't killing nobody. I am using it. It's months now I've been using the ivermectin. And I am healthy. Healthy, no complaints. My doctor family is healthy. The pharmacist is healthy. Their children are healthy. Their friends are also healthy. So Trinidad and Tobago, when Terence come up on the screen and talk about ivermectin killing people, tell Terence Singh, Saieed Ali is using it. Tell him I'm using it. Jatam also asked, who will do the work of the public sector employees who refuse to be vaccinated? However, Al-Rawi said the government believes employees will choose to be vaccinated over no pay. So Al-Rawi, let's just say 20 government workers took the vaccine and something happened to 5 of them. What are you all going to do? You see, this is a question that the human rights lawyers are supposed to be asking, but I haven't seen any human rights lawyers thus far asking any question in the media. Any. If they want to collect a salary for asking a question, check Saieed. If I have to pay you to go against the government, I will do it. And then that will tell me, that alone will tell me that, hey, you don't care about humanitarian. All you care about is money. The human rights group that came out and said that the government cannot hang or cannot hang individuals who are found guilty by the courts of law for murder. Where are those people? Where are those people? For shame's sake, they wouldn't come out. Because they might be labeled. Who vex loss, you know? Who vex loss? Caller, good night.
Hello, good night, Mr. Said.
Go right ahead.
Great program as usual, man. Keep it up.
Thank you, my friend.
The citizens of this country must not forget who was the chief spreader of this vaccine. And you know, up to this day, Dictator Rowley, chief spreader of this vaccine, he invited everybody to go to Tobago, you know. We must never forget that, and the citizens must never forget that. Another thing, they never come out and said they want everybody to take the vaccine. They want to push this down your throat. They never come out and said how the safe zone help, what the safe zone did to mitigate the vaccine and the deaths and so on. What the curfew did to mitigate this, right? What the state of emergency did to mitigate this. Tell the citizens this, but they're not coming every day. Now they're telling public servants that if you are vaccinated by the 15th, no work for you. Well, I hope the union is going to take this to court and deal with them, because, look, yesterday, the young man who died from the 19 people, that young man, I personally know the family. They have a driving school. That young man took the 2 vaccines. The young, healthy man, I see him every day passing in front of my home. He took the 2 shots and he died from COVID. I want to know what the Alsing and them say about that. Another thing, the CMO uncle is a pundit and he praying and saying, well, take the vaccine. No problem. Who want to take it, take it.
Yes.
But why he don't tell Dictator Rowley to release the bodies for the family to bury? That's what he should be doing. Tell Dictator Rowley and no good Dial Singh and tell his nephew, the CMO, to tell Rowley to release the dead bodies for the grieving people and the grieving citizens in this country to bury their bodies, to cremate their bodies. That is what he should be doing. Anyway, Mr. Said, thank you very much. Great program. Keep it up. God bless you and your program, my friend.
Thank you, my friend. So, here is theory. Is the government keeping the dead COVID-19 bodies to show to the World Bank that the government have to find money to pay for storage for dead COVID-19 bodies because family don't have money to bury? Is that a strategy that the government is using? I tell it have all kind of strategy, you know. Because I will tell you something. You could cremate the body in nothing. You could carry back a funeral home, put it in an incinerator, and you could burn the body. Where the smoke now, hey, where the smoke going? Evaporating when the body burn, or it goes through a chimney and goes up into the air? Trinidad and Tobago, you tell me. It is okay to do that. But it is not okay to keep an open air cremation. Faris, could you and the CMO, together with Keith Rowley, together with the headman Terence Dial Singh, tell us the difference between the open cremation and the closed cremation? Could you tell us the difference? Because the Hindus cannot perform a certain death rites that belongs to that individual. The Hindu community, they cannot perform their ritual. They can't do that. Why they cannot do that? You are removing their rights. Let me tell you something. If my former friend was here, Sat Maharaj, why you making joke? The AG would have a hard time, you know. Keith would have a hard time, you know. Well, don't talk about Terrence. Terrence don't have a little piece of forehead in front. You might see forehead quite up here. Me, I shave my head. I nearly bald head, you know. I nearly bald head. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Ali.
Go right ahead.
Mr. Ali, my concern is this, right? God who created man gave man free will, and it is because of that free will we were given by our Creator that people is taking advantage of other people. If who want to take the vaccine, fine. Who don't want to take it, fine. Why the discrimination? Nobody shouldn't discriminate against anybody.
Correct.
People need to learn to respect other people's opinion, their decisions,
also, yes,
their emotions, and all of that. Okay, when a person is diagnosed with the COVID and they die, whether or not they die from the COVID, it is reported that it is COVID. When they take the vaccine and they die now, they're saying it's comorbidities.
Correct.
The fact is that these people who they claim to be dying from the comorbidities, these people may have been living with their comorbidities for years.
Correct.
And as soon as they take the vaccine, apparently the vaccine is acting as some type of allergic reaction, right, that is triggering the comorbidities. So if when you're diagnosed with the COVID, you die from the COVID, they're reporting the death as COVID. When you take the vaccine and you die from the vaccine, why you're saying is the comorbidities?
My dear, you happen to be working in the health sector by chance?
No, sir.
Thank you so much, my dear.
Why the lies? Why
True.
the lies and the deception?
True.
Speak the truth and the truth will set you free.
Well said. Well said.
And I have one more thing before I go. Right? Okay. The fact that they don't want to take liability for the death, right? When people take this, whether you call it jab experiment, whatever, right? I will never trust. They could come with compensation of $1 million. I will never trust it. You know why? I believe people will have to wait from now until thy kingdom come to get that compensation.
Well said. Well said.
Have a nice night.
Thank you, my dear. So, viewers, I would just like to send out a little birthday greetings to 62-year-old Germany Choate. She celebrated her 62nd birthday today, and this is coming from her 4 children and grandchildren. So, Ms. Choate, happy 62nd birthday to you, my dear, and may God give you the health and the strength to continue living another 62. 62, right? She looks strong. Caller, good night.
Saeed, good night. You remember when the COVID started in Trinidad, that the health minister was saying that only Kappa could do the testing?
Yes.
He was always saying Kappa.
Only
and he
Kappa,
was
yes.
already on truth since that time, because everybody else could have do testing in Trinidad, all the pharmaceutical companies and stuff like that. You know what to do that testing, a patient testing over $2,000.
Wow.
Why are you doing people that for?
True.
Why are they continuing lying and telling people they are a rapid test about 200 or 300 to do it now? And you will say, really Kappa. Who is Kappa?
Exactly.
They only fooling people on the side. I'll tell you, why don't you realize to check these fellas up and let them spend some money in the court from their own pocket, you know? Thank you, parents.
Thank you, my friend. Several pregnant women who currently receive treatment for COVID-19 in both intensive care unit and high dependency unit, like HDU and ICU, of the parallel healthcare system. Director of Women's Health, Dr. Adesh Surju Singh, states that there are several critical women who are unvaccinated in HDU and ICU. You know, I'm going to tell you something. And this is trigger me, is always a critical unvaccinated person. What about the vaccinated person who end up critically now with COVID-19, with the vaccine? We ain't saying nothing about that. It always have to be a unvaccinated person in critical condition, while it have vaccinated person in critical condition. How come the men say nothing about that? Is it that they are afraid? Is it that they will get backlash? Is it that they will get suspended? What? And this is the thing no ministry ain't talking about. So just saying added that 5 women have died in the postpartum period, which is considered as maternal deaths. He said that these women who have COVID-19 were delivered before they died.
We actually have, as we speak, and I'd not like to go into any further details, we have several critical women who are unvaccinated at this time in our HDUs and ICUs. We wish them well and we hope that things work out. We've had as well in 2021 5 women who would have died in the postpartum period, and these are considered maternal deaths. All of these women were delivered before they died. They had COVID-19 during pregnancy. I can't go into any further details, but these were really tragic circumstances.
Why can't you go into further details? It's the details we need. It is the details we need. What about if they had comorbidities? You know, they wouldn't mention comorbidities, but you would say COVID-19. And that's a buyout right there. Said, well, you know, they had a lung failure, or they had problem with kidney, or they had problem breathing. But you know what? They had COVID. So COVID takes the blame over all. He also noted that there have been 1 death of a newborn and state that this was considered as a mother-to-child transmission for COVID-19, and there are 4 cases of mother-to-child transmission of COVID-19. Listen to this.
We had 1 newborn baby considered mother-to-child transmission where COVID-19 was there. However, the baby died as a complication of prematurity, which is one of the things noted worldwide. Babies are being born before time, and the babies succumb from the complications of prematurity. In total, we've had 4 cases of mother-to-child transmission of COVID. One of those was also a stillbirth.
Now, viewers, Surgeon Singh continued to urge pregnant women as well as breastfeeding mothers to get vaccinated. It's the same thing over and over. It's the same thing. No changes. No changes. The vaccine there, we taking the vaccine 1 shot, 2 shot, booster, and still no changes. None. But one thing I will do, I will continue. I will continue pushing for the truth. Even though I have to talk about this vaccine, this COVID-19, throughout my show, I will continue pushing for the truth. Because we are not getting the truth. All we are getting is that the vaccine is safe to take, it saves lives, the vaccine will reduce you from getting COVID. Terry boy, if line used to kill. Energy Minister, all of you love this one, viewers. Stuart Young have states that fireworks should not be sold to members of the public and are a waste of foreign exchange. So hear this. Caller, good night.
Hello.
Go right ahead.
Good night, Mr. Saeed. I would like to know if you can get more information concerning the ivermectin, because I did a little research and I found out that there are ivermectin for humans too.
Yes.
Not only animals.
I am using it, Auntie.
Yeah. And concerning like these people, you know, they cannot even answer us from one variant to the other and all sorts of things. I want to know if we are guinea pigs.
I
because the
understand.
vaccine seems not to be working.
Well, at the end, they say it is an experimental drug, experimental vaccine.
Okay. So we are not sure if we could live to see another day too, because I could remember, I'm 72 years now, and about 50 years ago, I was in a health facility. I saw a fella came in, well, he was around his 40 or so in those days. And this fella took penicillin injection, and just 5 minutes after, I saw this man just collapse, pass away. Something funny, you know? So I don't know.
I understand. Thank you so much for your comments, my dear. But I use ivermectin. And this is the first time since COVID, this whole COVID-19 issue taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. This is the first time I am releasing this to the public. I am healthy. My children use it. My doctor use it. The pharmacists use it. Their friends, their family, their relatives, their children using it. And this is the first time I am saying it to you. Now, this is not in any way for pharmacies to go and say, well, you know, Saeed using ivermectin, or they could come and buy it. This is not no way to promote any business. I want to let you understand that. So here it is. Energy Minister Stuart Young have stated that fireworks should not be sold to members of the public and are a waste of foreign exchange. How long now we having foreign exchange problem in Trinidad and Tobago? As a businessman, and I can't get foreign exchange to buy. Years now. Fireworks is only being lit for Christmas, New Year's, Diwali. 3-season festival in Trinidad and Tobago. And that is the only time we see fireworks really kicking off in Trinidad. Young expressed these views in a statement as he called on his constituents and the public to participate in the consultation process as the government seeks to bring legislation to regulate the use of fireworks. Draft legislation prepared by the Law Reform Commission states that a person shall not discharge any fireworks unless he holds a valid permit issued by the police commissioner. We have a police commissioner in Trinidad. So if it takes 5 years to get a police commissioner in Trinidad and Tobago, so you will tell me when the Hindus have their festival of Diwali, they mustn't light nothing. That businessman in Trinidad suffering whole year to get foreign exchange, but Stuart, he talking about foreign exchange? Huh? The public would only be able to use fireworks without a permit on a public holiday for a limited time. Young said a permit system would be burdensome. On Friday, the Ministry of the Attorney General and Legal Affairs also stressed that the draft legislation is not the government's final policy and no final decision will be made without consultation with stakeholders and the public. On Tuesday, National Security Minister Fitzgerald Hines expects to get a written gun policy as it relates to the issuing of firearm users' license to the public from the Director of the Ministry of Office of the Law Enforcement Policy, Gail Charles. He states that police commissioner in the future and whoever is responsible based on what the cabinet accept from these recommendations would be guided by that policy. He assured that policy very professionally and swiftly executed by OLEAP. And he requests that policy because of public concerns. Hines states that there were consultations with all of the relevant stakeholders such as the police, defense force, and people involved in the licensing process. The ministry said cabinet agreed to an audit of the firearm registry of the police service as their way many allegations including bribery. He also commended Acting Commissioner of Police McDonald Jacob and his team, saying that police service, in his view, is coming alive. The police service now coming alive? They now coming alive? Let me tell you something. I have been living in Trinidad and Tobago for 46 years. And it's only when Commissioner of Police Gary Griffith, former commissioner, was active as the Commissioner of Police for Trinidad and Tobago. Let me tell you something. That was the only 3 years in Trinidad that criminals started to fear police. Now that he's out, well, I don't know what will happen. I really don't know what will happen. But I'm in the media, and I will keep you up to date. So here it is. The Coast Guard vessel seems to be working. 18 persons currently are in custody after being caught attempting to illegally enter the country, says a report from the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard. While conducting patrols of the south coast of Trinidad, the TTS Scarborough detected a vessel 5 nautical miles off Angeles Point, Palseco, after the vessel had crossed the border of the Republic of the Trinidad and Tobago from Venezuela. The boarding party on the vessel, the TTS Scarborough, pursued the suspect vessel and discovered it abandoned approximately 5 cables or 1,000 yards off south of Angeles Point. Further search of the area were conducted where luggage and other personal belongings were discovered. These searches led to the discovery of 18 persons attempting to illegally enter Trinidad and Tobago. These persons have since been detained and have been proceeded or processed in accordance with health and immigration policy. So I guess that is 18 people going back to where they came from. So I want to commend the officers of the TTS Scarborough for doing such a great job. So Trinidad and Tobago, it is for us to understand the vaccine policies. It is for us to understand that the government wants to take away our freedom of choice. It is for us to understand that you have the right to choose. And it is also for us to understand that nobody in the law, nobody in police, nobody in army, nobody in custom, no individual in Trinidad and Tobago can take away your rights of freedom to speech and freedom to choose. Remember that. I am Saieed Ali and I am telling you that. So before we close off tonight, viewers, there's a rerun of this program tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. on Synergy Network. Those of you who cannot view us during the show, the live program, you can see a rerun the following day. Remember, Real Talk Finance and Investment Company is offering you, the citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, a 2.5% on a fixed deposit system at Real Talk Finance and Investment Company. The highest interest paid that are being paid in any financial institution. Now remember, we have our office in South. You can call us in the South area, 242-7690. In Shogun, says 267-7325 or 238-6716. Or you can also contact me, 339-1670. So viewers, times are getting harder. And it's obvious you will be looking for an extra cash. Extra cash. So why would you continue to have your money put down where you are getting the rate of 0.05 for the last 10 years, or the last 5 years, or the last 15 years? I tell a Real Talk group of companies, Real Talk Finance and Investment Company, it's changing the way. Watch man, I'm only waiting for one approval again to launch Real Talk Credit Union, you know. And that will change banking in Trinidad, you know. I have a story to give earlier about a bank in Trinidad, you know, where someone went in to deposit. They sold a vehicle and it crossed 100,000, right? $150,000. A friend sold a vehicle. They went in. Now, I'm not discriminating this bank, eh? I know we have about 1 minute left. I'm not discriminating this bank. But a friend and I went in the Scotia Bank. Synergy, just give me 1 minute, please. A friend and I, she sold her vehicle. She went in the Scotia Bank in Conopia. She went with the sales receipt. She went with the certified copy that the vehicle is on her name, and she went in with over $100,000 in cash to put the money into her account. Right? And when we got there, the individual, the teller is telling the individual, That, hey, we cannot take your money. You know why? Now, keep in mind, the woman had the sales receipt where she sold the vehicle, and she had the certified copy stating that the vehicle was mine, or is mine, and I sell this person. Now, the bank now, the teller, telling my friend that they have to get source of funds from where the other person get the money. We'll continue this topic tomorrow night, but I'm not discriminating the bank. They have their policy, but we will talk about this on Tuesday night, viewers. So until we meet again, good night.